Hello, I'm John Furrier with theCUBE Pod. We are here on a special podcast in Maui for the ACTAI Global. We got interviews from all the leaders here. Katie Potter's here. She's a kite surfing professional world champion and an AI consultant, specialist, works for big corporations, helping them with their transformation journeys. It's kind of like kite surfing lessons I've been going through. So Katie, great to have you on the pod here. What a great view here at ACTAI Global. Great to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's fun when you sit at a dinner with all leaders and you start talking about unstructured and structured databases at dinner. And then you sit next to a guy who invented a database, going after Oracle, and we did a podcast with him. Great mixture of people at ACTAI.
Yes.
Athletes, conservatives, technologists, innovators, artists, all coming together. What's the vibe like here?
It's wonderful. The energy is so high. Everyone just wants to talk all things AI. The hype is real, and everyone here knows what's coming. So sharing ideas and just staying at the top of what's out there, it's personally really inspiring for me. I've learned a lot already just through this event, and we're in day one. So looking forward to the rest of it.
It's fun. You and I have been having some conversation around transformation. AI is driving it, just all the change. We have demos. The format here is morning sessions. There's yoga, breathing in the morning. There's a great coffee station, breakfast, and then there's talks and demos. And it's not a sales pitch. It's not like people looking for funding in a classic kind of way. It's just people collaborating. And then in the afternoon, when the wind kicks up in Hawaii, the kite surfing kicks in.
And we get to go out and have fun.
Yeah, and so you're a world champion. Explain your pedigree on the world championship on the kite surfing. And we'll get into some of the tech stuff because that's also compelling too.
Well, two-time world champion in the kite park discipline, so I'm current reigning champion as well. That's good. I'll try and keep it going for this year as well. But I go out and I do every single discipline out there, and there's also a ton of new sports coming in on wind sports, so I keep up with the latest trends, and there's always something new and fun out there to learn.
And what I'm learning, I'm a first-timer kite surfer, so I'm having a lot of fun. I'm kind of in the classroom on the beach, and then I'm going to get in the water. There's progressions. And it's learning. It's like you got to grind through it. So it sounds like a lot of these AI transformation projects we go through.
It is. It is. It's being accepting of change and realizing, oh, that's how something's going to react. And, oh, that's how I fine tune or make this slightly better. How is the kite going to react? How is my board going to react? And then being able to piece those components together.
What are you working on right now? I know you're working with Extreme Networks right now. You've worked on a lot of other projects. You have a consultancy, you have a practice, you have a discipline. Kind of like water sports, there's a lot of variety to AI. What's your focus? What are you optimizing for right now?
I really help companies around CMS vendor optimization. So a lot of those companies get stuck in legacy systems where it's not actually that easy to pull the content out and make it AI ready. So how do you test on a small scale really quickly with teams to make sure that it's actually giving you the results that you want and in a safe environment? So not going customer facing to start with, actually testing behind the scenes in that safe space. But then how do you actually set up the foundational element behind that so you can move from these small pilots to a much larger scale where the impact is then going to get rolled out across the whole organization?
You know, I've done many sports and kite surfing. It's very humbling. AI is humbling too. And take me through your thought process around how change management works in some of these organizations, because I can almost imagine it's a lot like learning how to kite surf. I know you've probably taught many people. I got this. I'm an athlete. I've done it before. I've done other sports. But then you actually have to go through the process of knowing what you have and then what you could be.
Yeah.
Take me through your thought process on how you apply some of that kite surfing mindset to some of the AI change, because I would think there's similarities, because a lot of work has to get done. You got to clean the data. You got to kind of like do all the heavy lifting technical things. And
get the buy-in as well along
Go ahead,
the way.
Explain.
Yeah, so it's often showing by doing is one of the most powerful things, and it's really interesting because I've seen companies spend $150,000 on this vendor or $300,000 on this vendor, and they still get locked into it but they're too nervous to shift. So what I do is I help them see, oh, actually, you can keep that system there for the time being. This is what the benefits are when we move, but actually helping them move first before they get off of their old systems.
You know, I talked to a lot of leaders that have had successful projects and some that have not had successful projects. And one thing that's consistent, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this, because I think the ones that are successful have a mindset, and their mindset is very much focused in on where what they're trying to do, like an athlete. And you could have all the talent in the world in sports, but if you don't have the right mindset and kind of trying to figure out the situational awareness, the conditions, the environment you're in, it's hard. And as an athlete, I think there's a lot to draw there, because I think it's inspirational that, to be a champion is hard.
Yeah, I mean, it takes dedication and persistence, and not everything goes right. You'll have training sessions that don't go right. You'll get injured along the way, and I see real similarities in the business day to day. I set standards, and I talk to content teams day in, day out about what those standards are, and then 2 months later, they've posted something, and it's still an image, and AI can't grasp that in the right way, or it's not in a scalable format. So again, you have to go back through that process of retraining and being patient as well. There's a lot of patience in
What's
it.
your advice when you meet teams? Because there's an expression in the old IT days, herding the cats. Is an expression that's been kicked around a lot. But when you have to motivate teams to change, you got to pull people with you. What's advice do you share with leaders and practitioners as they go look at the AI? Because the opportunities are clear.
Bring them on the journey, because a lot of people out there are nervous, and they want to see how it's going to benefit them. They don't want to see how it's going to exclude them from the process. So how can you help them show it will increase your workflow, it will scale the amount that you can actually do and the success that you can provide for yourself and your company, without feeling that fear of being made redundant?
It's interesting. Perfection is an athletic concept, because when you're competing, I'm sure when you're doing your rails and your kick-ups in the water park competition, you got to get it right, and they keep score. And AI, there's a lot of hallucinations, but if you get it right with the data, you got to have that precision. No one wants hallucinations. When you look at your projects that you're working on now, what are some of the things that you look at and pay attention to? Are there technical things? Is it process? Is it the workflows? The people side of it? What are some of the things that you look at right away? Is there a sequence of events, an order of operations?
Yeah, looking at the use cases first that would be most successful, that are going to be low risk and high ROI, and then also putting metric systems in place. So I'm all about human AI feedback loops and setting up the metrics behind the scenes so that you know that the AI is tracking in the right way. Translation, for instance, is a really interesting one. So we had Japanese team going out for big major government contract deals, and we had an AI system behind the scenes that was good at translation, but Japanese is a very difficult language, and when you're looking in an IT networking space, that is also a very technical space. So how do you blend one of the most technical languages with one of the most technical topics, but with a metric system in place and relearning that cycle? We were able to pivot through 3 different AIs within the space of a month and get the Japanese team, which is culturally one of the hardest stakeholders, to get on board, very happy with the results. And then you can scale that across thousands of pages of documents.
And that's where your piece about getting part of the journey is key. So, in kites, I love the parallels between what you do as a world champion and AI, because there's a lot of similarities in terms of trying to achieve greatness quickly, but there's no shortcuts. I noticed in my lesson, the first lesson was about safety. You got to get all the safety, and the beach can be dangerous. You're launching, you're landing. In AI, safety is huge. Security is the real safety concern. So cybersecurity, you mentioned networking, is a big part of the AI. So AI for AI's sake is, okay, if you have a bad process, you're going to have bad outcomes. So bad process, bad data is bad AI. So, and also the vulnerabilities. Security is huge. That's the safety piece of it. What's your take on the whole cyber piece? Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, everyone should get cyber checks right now because AI is out there, and it's just people have had bad practices in place for a while. So if you think of SharePoint, people haven't been using it right for over 5 years. So there's probably vulnerabilities that are already in place, but there's tools out there that you can get checked really quickly. Make sure you're in check, and then you're safe, and you can move forward and leverage AI really effectively.
Get that gear ready. All right, what's the coolest thing you're working on right now?
Oh, we are doing translation across 10 different languages across both the UI of the product as well as all the product documentation, and we're streamlining the process from Jira development tickets all the way through to product documentation and web publishing out from that. But it's all AI first.
Yeah, and get the low-hanging fruit, kind of get the early use cases. Let's talk about kite surfing, because I'm fascinated by the community is awesome, but also the sport is hard. Talk about some of your championship wins. Is there a story you can share? I know you were on a photo shoot yesterday. You showed me some of the photos. Pretty challenging discipline required. Take me through a story of your championships where you've had to overcome. Maybe you're down. Maybe something happened, and you thrived and won.
Yeah, I mean, the adrenaline rush when you're going into these competitions is next level, and I think that's what I thrive off of, actually. Is you have to just be focused in the moment and have that mindset ready. And yes, not everything is always going to go your way, but you will start with your safe tricks, and then you'll go towards the more advanced tricks over time. And when you see someone else throw down a trick better than you, you're ready to just step it up and get that next best one.
Bring that game on.
Yeah.
Great to have you on the CUBE pod here in beautiful Maui. Not too shabby here, this background, huh?
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
What a great place
Talk
to
about
be.
the ACTAI community for the folks that are watching. The vibe, the people, the community. How would you describe the experience and the folks here?
It's just really inspiring. Everyone here, they have such a thrive for life. They want to get out there. They want to make the best of themselves, whether it's professionally or whether it's in the hobby that they do. And I just love that with the kiteboarding community, because it really brings a special type of person that's not just dedicated to what they do in work, but also they want to have fun and get out there.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the tips you gave me, and it kind of brings up the pro tip, literally pro tips I'm getting from you. Thanks for the coaching. Thanks for coming on the pod. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. I'm John Furrier here at the CUBE pod here in Maui for a special ACTAI Global, really kind of a chill, high octane group of people, coming together, sharing their experiences, helping each other. And again, that's the vibe of the kite surfing community. Thanks for watching.